There are two types of people that play this game, the Chads and the Rats.
Well, don't forget about the snipers.
Right. There's three types of people that play this game, the Chads, the Rats, and the Snipers.
Well, now, you could also be a newbie.
Jesus Christ. There are many different play styles in Arena Breakout. There are also loads of different weapons and gear to choose from. So let's go over what the best loadouts are for each playstyle. Now, I know, I have no idea what I'm talking about, right? Iron Sight, you don't know nothing.
Well, I have a microphone, and you don't.
So you will listen to every damn word I have to say!
I also want to preface this by saying, yes, the FAL is amazing. It's a fan favorite for a reason. It is an absolute killing machine for any scenario at any range, but it's just boring to constantly be using the same gun over and over and over again. So I'm not really going to be talking about that a whole lot in this video. So if that disappoints you, I'm sorry. I just want to give you a heads up. Most new Arena Breakout players, such as myself, have transitioned over from other mobile shooters, whether it's PUBG Mobile, Call of Duty Mobile, but you find out pretty quickly that this game is much more punishing and a lot less forgiving. Some people adapt to new playstyles, or some people evolve, or maybe devolve, into rats, right? Hiding in corners, crouch walking the entire map, hoping scabs won't give your position away. It's reminiscent of solo PUBG Mobile lobbies. If that game has taught me anything, it has taught me that there is always someone willing to outcamp you. So if you have resorted to ratting in this game, there's a good chance you're either new, you're flat broke, or you are suffering from terminal gear fear. If any of those three things pertain to you and you found them relatable, you're going to want to go into raids as cheap as humanly possible. You're going to want to bring in something that can give you somewhat of an upper hand, especially in close quarters. If you're going to try and ambush someone, and an unmodified MP5 with dum-dum rounds will be your best friend in this scenario, especially if you're not very accurate, because it does have a very high chance of wounding extremities. That's really all you need. This is meant to be somewhat of a throwaway kit, so if you die, you're not really going to be upset if you lose it all, and chances are you're going to get all the gear you need off of whatever player that you do end up killing, whether it be medication, body armor, helmets, a backpack, and you're good to go from there. However, this is Arena Breakout, and usually things don't go as planned, so I would try to come in a bit more prepared if possible. Don't go overboard with gear, don't use anything super expensive. If you have a tier 3 body armor, that's going to be your best bet. As far as helmets go, the SH-12 military helmet, it's a no-brainer. It is a fan favorite for a reason. It's super cheap, it's a level 3. Yes, it does debuff your ergonomics, but it won't matter if you're creeping around the map. And it does also have a built-in headset, which is actually quite good for the price point. Now, on the off chance that you do end up encountering a duo or a full squad, you're going to want a couple of extra magazines, just in case. The 926 lightweight chest rig is good enough for just that, but if you're not an extreme cheapskate, something like the BH rig is a lot better. I think it's actually the best budget chest rig out there. Remember, this is a throwaway kit. It's just enough to bring in what you need. However, it's not enough to really care about if you die 5 seconds into a raid. If you are an aggressive player and you like to hunt down the rats, instead of running the FAL like we'd mentioned earlier, which is always an option, don't forget, you could opt for my personal favorite gun in the entire game, the AR-57. It is an absolute powerhouse, and it has the fastest fire rate out of any other rifle in its class. If you prefer to run a 5.56 rifle, the H416 and the M4A1 are both equally as good. You probably play a lot of Armory, right? Or TV Station. If that's the case, you're going to want some good body armor that can eat bullets, like the BT-201. However, if you prefer a little bit more of an open map like Valley or Northridge, I would use the KN Composite or the BT-101. The FA Commander or the FA Multi-Purpose chest rigs are absolutely essential to carry all of your tactical equipment and meds. The IND-70 helmet is expensive for a reason. It's so good and durable, so make sure you use it. But if you prefer to not run a full face helmet, the IND-50 will be your second best option. Don't forget to equip your GS2s with it. You're probably going to have a lot of kills to loot, so the rail heavy backpack will be your best option for storage space. Somewhere between a passive player and a super aggressive player is a tactician. They aren't a rat, but they also are more reserved in their engagements. They take gunfights carefully and move with purpose. They play to make it out alive, and they typically adapt to any playstyle, suit their needs. The Mark 14 is an absolute unit, and it is great at both long range and close range engagements. It is a very versatile weapon, making it perfect for a tactical player. Again, the KN composite armor, or the BT-101, will give you superb core protection while retaining movement speed and ergonomics if you need to make a break for it or get across the map quick. The FA multi-purpose chest rig will give you all the storage space you need for spare magazines, smoke grenades, endurance syringes. So next up on our list, we're going to tick off the thermal imager. I'm just kidding. Kind of. They do offer a huge advantage, so if you can afford it and you want to run one, why not? The D3 Heavy Tactical Helmet will allow you to use those thermal imagers if you want, or you can just use a face shield. Now the 926 bag or the field bag aren't as bulky as the military bag, but they still do have plenty of storage space, so I would recommend using one of those two backpacks. Sniper roles have played a huge part in basically every shooter ever, and it's no different in ArenaBreakout. The King bolt action we all know and love. Obviously the AX50, as always, is going to be your go-to primary weapon. Now we haven't talked much about sidearms in this video, but it is a good idea, especially if you wind up in a tight spot. The F57 is an excellent pistol and it has great ammunition. It shares the same round as the AR-57 and the P90, so this is going to be your best pistol to bring into a raid. Now you could also run the full auto G18 with a drum mag and dum-dum rounds. You really can't go wrong with those. However, being quick, especially as a solo or a sniper, is crucial, because even though we do come in prepared with a sidearm, you still don't want to be stuck in a situation where you're in a face-to-face gunfight or have to take on a full squad. So you want to be as quick as possible and make sure your gear doesn't give you too many movement penalties. The BT-101 body armor, like we have mentioned earlier in the video, is just an excellent choice, especially for a sniper. Although it only protects your chest, it provides hardly any ergonomical loss or movement penalties, and it is a level 6 vest, so it is perfect for someone playing a sniper role. Now, one thing that you don't want to skimp out on is going to be your helmet. If you go prone a lot and you're facing your enemies, remember if you can see them, they can see you, and your head will be the first thing that's hit if you are fired at. Now, one thing I would advise against is using a full face helmet, unless you're in a squad and you have teammates giving you more information, because hearing is your most important tool as a sniper. You don't want something that's going to block your ears and hurt your hearing, especially if there are other players trying to sneak up on you. You want to make sure you can hear as good as humanly possible. GS2 headset is going to be your best friend as a sniper. So now that we have our headset and sufficient vital protection, we want to make sure that we don't over-encumber ourselves a whole lot, but we still want to use a chest rig that gives us enough room for, again, spare magazines, meds. However, since most engagements are going to be taken from a distance, at least we hope, you won't be needing to use them a whole lot. So instead of using the best meds you can afford, use that space in your rig for some extra smoke grenades or some decoy grenades for evasive measures. If you find yourself filling the squad leader role often, or your teammates just rely on you a lot, the RPK will be your best option in terms of a weapon. However, a DMR can also prove useful for not only providing cover fire from a distance, but cleaning up kills and picking off down players. Like the Tactician, being able to adapt to any situation or environment is very important if you're going to be carrying your team and putting your squad on your back. The H-Tac A8 Armored Rig provides Class 5 protection to the chest and has plenty of pockets for throwables, magazines, and anything else you may need to share with your squad mates. But if armored rigs aren't your thing, the 926 Premium Rig paired with your favorite armor will be more than suitable. Depending on your price point, the D3 Tactical Helmet or the IND50 are both excellent choices. However, if you do want to run a full face helmet, again, the IND70 is the best option for that. It does hurt your hearing, but if you have squad mates helping give you more information, it's not that big of a deal and it's not as big of a loss as if you were playing solo. If you queue with randoms especially, there's a good chance you may end up carrying out a bunch of your dead teammates' gear, or maybe you're just a loot goblin. Either way, you'll need a really big bag to hold some really big gear, and you already know the rail heavy backpack or the field camping bag are both excellent choices that will give you more than enough space to carry out whatever it is you need. If you've made it this far into the video, I appreciate you as always. I clearly have some favorites when it comes to gear, but I want to know what your favorite gear is. What is your go-to loadout that you just can't live without? And what role you fill in your squad? What kind of play style do you play? Leave them down in the comment section. I do appreciate you guys watching, and I will see you in the next video.